This is Filioque here, my channel. Peace to you, may God save Serbia and Syria. And Gambler, you didn't specify. This is a response about the Filioque. We are Roman Catholics. We're the original. When Western Rome fell, we were still around. We were the Roman Catholic Church. Not the modern papal Western Latin, right? Which I know is what you meant. That's what we all mean when we say Roman Catholic Church, yeah. Just had to stick that in there, though. But no, I have more than that to add about the Filioque. I think it's in Matthew where Christ said the road to perdition is paved with good intentions. And that's exactly what the Filioque was good intentions. And when I was coming to Orthodoxy, I said, well, why can't I say that the Spirit proceeds from the Father through the Son? They said, that's correct. You got it. That's right. And I said, well, how is that different? And then it took me a while, and yeah, probably the main issue, one of the things, when Photius freaked out when he saw it 900, because the split was a long time coming. It was. I would say the split probably should have happened in the 7th or 8th century, but it happened in the 11th, in the mid-11th century. 1054, I think, is the date given. For RC, it's a little later, and then we don't recognize the split with the Anglo-Saxon or the Celtic churches until 1066, until they actually removed the Orthodox bishops forcibly. Yeah, the huge why Photius freaked out is because you have the creed, which, I mean, Arianism was battled for so long, and you have this creed, and the creed was attacked by many other people, not just Arians, who, finally the Orthodox Church had resisted them, and the church had, or I should just say the church, the Christian church, come to that point, and then Photius reads this and says, I think it was on outside of a church, it had it both in Greek and Latin, and he said, what? That you start screwing around with the Trinity. Now, I understand that it was put in to combat Arianism. If the Roman Catholics say through, again, that's still a change. That would still piss people off. Again, there's the Orthodox joke of how many Orthodoxies take to change a light bulb. Change? What's change? The Roman Catholics are used to this just in things. I think it's when the Visigoths had entered Spain that this came out of, trying to combat this, because the Arians kept trying to stay in the church. So I'm saying Nestorianism is a hanger-on of Arianism, and there's these other movements that were just these just hangers-on, and there was probably backers of Nestorius that were hangers-on of Arianism, and there were probably adoptionists that were hangers-on for that too, that were backing Nestorius. After him, not during his life. Somebody told me that he had actually recanted and confessed, but I don't know. Because it wasn't just the issue of Theotokos that was Nestorius' problem. He had other problems too. yeah, I mean, Roman Catholics could say all day long, yeah, it was a good idea. It sounded like a great idea at the time. Again, yeah, riding a shopping cart down a roof sounds like a great idea at the time. When you've got over a six-pack in you and you're 18 years old. Hey, it sounds fantastic. I saw it on Jackass. But where are the Arians? Where are the Jehovah's Witnesses trying to sneak into your churches now? I mean, is that needed? Was that inspired? I mean, you have a council that met together that agreed upon the Nicene Creed, and then you don't. I mean, does anybody really know where the Filioque came out of? Like, we know it was a reaction against Arianism. They were slipping into the church, saying, "Oh, we can still, or Nestorians or whatever other heretics." But then you wind up going into heresy itself. This is why I say papal supremacy was a huge problem. The other issue was the Filioque. These are straws that broke the camel's back. There was a lot of other issues. And I think before a Roman Catholic, a Western Latin Rite Pope following Roman Catholic, can actually, before addressing that, there's a lot more issues to be addressed. That was the snapping point. And Photius, I believe he spoke out against this in 900. The split still didn't come for another 154 years. And then as caught on to the other seas, I think we were in like the 60s or something, 1060 something. I think it was 1061 that we said, yeah, no, we're breaking with Rome too. And it spread to the other seas. Which is how it happens. I mean, that's how something like, because people would bring up to you, well, why was this person excommunicated or anathemized so late? Well, that's the normal run of things. I mean, Marcion was quick, Sabellianism was quick, Gnosticism was quick. I mean, it didn't take a century for these things to get kicked out. But the things that surround the councils take a while. Why is it in Rome, when they have a council, it's just, alright, just a few weeks. It's not thought about or battled about. In the Orthodox view, you guys can still go back on Vatican II. You guys can say, yeah, it was a robber council, and throw it out. Actually throw out Vatican I also. Throw out the Pope being infallible. I actually talked to a Roman Catholic. He says, well, no, this is retroactive. This is saying that the popes were not just from now on, but were in the past. You got to bring up Honorius. What about him? He was Monophysite. There was a pope that dug up another pope that excommunicated him and threw him into the sea, or threw him into the Tiber, actually. I mean, in Orthodoxy, we've had bad bishops, bad popes. And we look at them and just say, yeah, they weren't representative, because the church isn't dependent on that. It's a very upside down thing, and that's essentially what they've done with the Trinity, with the Filioque. Usually you have the Father as the fountainhead, the Son is eternally begotten, and the Spirit eternally proceeds. They changed that because now the Son is eternally begotten with the Father, and you have the Holy Spirit proceeding from both of them. And is the Holy Spirit eternally proceeding from the Son? Wasn't that an action in time? I could be wrong, and I most likely am. That's why I'm not making a statement on this, but wasn't at a moment with Christ, who was not pre-existent. It was the Son was pre-existent. Christ was. I mean, if you say Christ was pre-existent, in the sense of the Son or the Logos, Son and Logos being the same thing, yes. But Christ, as we know, is being the incarnation of 100% God, 100% man, hypostatic union. You can't say, yeah, he was pre-existent. He came in time. God entered into his creation. It's in time and space, in physical form. And it was at Pentecost that it came through the Son. Before that, did it? And I would ask this for Orthodox Christians too. I wonder what the answer is. Probably have to get it from a bishop. I may send this video to Archbishop Lazar at All Saints Monastery. I'm wondering about the answer to that question, because wasn't it? I mean, that's in that case, then it wouldn't be eternal. Then it would be very heretical. I'm not going to say, oh, I might be wrong on that, because I'm not even taking a stance on it. That's just an open-ended question. It doesn't really matter to me which way it goes, but it would be significant for the Roman Catholics which way that goes. Then again, they could view it as, well, the creed was in. Well, no, that part of the creed was from Constantinople. That wasn't it. That wasn't part of Nicaea. I can never pronounce it. Nicene Creed was finished at Constantinople with the other third, and then I think Eternally Begotten was added at Constantinople also. But you had Homoousius, which was the main factor against the Arians. So you're battling the Arians, and you go off into fighting fire with fire. Burns down the whole house, right? I think that's kind of how the Eastern Orthodox see it. This isn't so much a response, or I'm going to post this as a response. This isn't me being like, I challenge you, Gambler. But Papal Western Latin, right? And that was just a comment. That came to mind just as I started it. So, all right, take it easy. I got some work to do around here. Peace to you. May God save Serbia and Syria and protect the Christians in Syria and Egypt. Please keep praying for my family. Still a rough time. And the 40 days are still going on. So, take it easy. This is Ufelta here, my channel. Peace to you. May God save Serbia and Syria. And Gambler, you didn't specify. This is a response about the Filioque. We are Roman Catholics. We're the original. When Western Rome fell, we were still around. We were the Roman Catholic Church. Not the modern Papal Western Latin, right? Which I know is what you meant. That's what we all mean when we say Roman Catholic Church, yeah. One of the things, when Photius freaked out when he saw 900, because the split was a long time coming. It was. I would say the split probably should have happened in the 7th or 8th century, but it happened in the 11th, in the middle. Just had to stick that in there, though. But no, I have more than that to add about the Filioque. I think it's in Matthew where Christ said the road to perdition is paved with good intentions. And that's exactly what the Filioque was. It was good intentions. And when I was coming to Orthodoxy, I said, well, why can't I say that the Spirit proceeds from the Father through the Son? They said, that's correct. You got it. That's right. And I said, well, how is that different? And then it took me a while, and yeah, probably the main issue